What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pitch Perfect podcast. Hope you all keeping well. We got a bit of a late one today. Not only a late one, but a juicy one. Ten Hag has been sacked. Yeah, some crazy news. Some crazy news to wake up to this morning. I was just on my way to work. I was on the bus, seeing it that Ten Hag has been sacked. I was like, look, I like even with the West Ham game. I even said it's winner stays on. If you watch some grown football and you know what Nike advert that's from, shout out you. But I did say winner stays on, and unfortunately, Ten Hag came up short, and yeah, he's sacked. So we're gonna get it's today. Man U fans are feeling great from what I've heard. I have some Man U fans who are not happy with it. I have some Man U fans who are happy with it. As a neutral fan, I think I've lost a brother. You know, Ten Hag was a good man. Ten Hag was a very very good man for the Prem, and think as a neutral, I think I speak for all neutrals when I say he'd be dearly missed. That was a man of talent, that was a man who knew how to play football and get the best out of his players, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so we're gonna try and get some United fans in here. Um, in a few minutes to give their opinions with them because it is kind of United fans we have to get their opinion of. So I'm gonna drop the link there to join um, the stream there, and then yeah, hopefully we can kick things off. I am aware that the Ballon d'Or ceremony is going off in there right now, so I have my iPad with me just to see what's happening, and obviously to bring up other stuff what's happening as well. But yeah, yeah. So we got a lot to talk about. So like, if they do announce the winner, I do apologize. We probably will interrupt at some point to announce the winner. So, but it'll be on social media anyways, and we probably will talk through the rankings and stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be an interesting stream. It's gonna be an interesting stream. So give me 2 seconds. Let me try and put the link up there for people to join. 2 seconds though. I think yeah, this is a bot. Just I so the link is on the pod on the stream should be pinned. Oh, is it pinned? Have I pinned it? Give me 2 seconds. We'll just see what story is there. Perfect. So yeah, that's pinned on top of the stream. So yeah, that is pinned on top of the stream. So anyone who wants to join, just do click that link. You in the backstage, and then we'll try and get you on. But yeah, big news: Ten Hag has been sacked. Sad day as a neutral. Thought he was a very good manager, but all as he said, all eras must come to an end. Um, Unfortunately, that was a short story for Ten Hag. Um, Look, even as a neutral, like try not to even make a lot of jokes. It was coming. It was coming, man. That man. If you've been watching the Pitch Perfect podcast from the get go since the season started, poor Joyce, man. It was therapy, man. It was therapy for him, man. And like we were slagging, bro. Ten Hag on to like for this season made 50% of our content. Like, I'm kind of a lie. We should have had a separate segment for this pod called Ten Hag Talk, as Richie said, Ten Hag Talks, because bro, the way this guy was giving us weekly clips of his interviews, his tactics, damn, it was crazy out here. But yeah, like you see with Ten Hag, bro. Like for the sake of his career, I hope he don't get another job, bro. I hope I hope he don't get another job because that manager, bro, like it baffled me how he kept his job for so long. It baffled me how he kept his job for so long. But look, I ain't gonna say too much. Yeah, I ain't gonna say too much. I have two Man United fans. They've become quite regulars on this show. These are two Man United fans that were Ten Hag out. They both texted me this morning about identically like 3 minutes apart from each other. I was like, there has to be a live. There has to be a live stream today. I was like, do you know what? Especially Nathan. Nathan's been asking me to do the live stream as well. I couldn't just due to college and stuff. So look, Tanai has been sacked. United fans, you have the floor. So, without further ado, I'm going to welcome Nathan and Scott to the stage. Before I do, add you boys, anyone who does want to join the stream, the link is linked in the YouTube chat. Like I said, I do. There will be probably people jumping in and out. So if I don't get to you, I do apologize. There is a lot of people that will try to, say their segment because it's a big thing for United fans. But I will try to adding people and re-add them as I go along. So I'm just going to add Nathan and Scott to the stage. Welcome, boys. Welcome.
What's happening?
What a wonderful day.
How are we, guys?
Happy. It's a
I
weird
think
one, though.
Yeah.
Because I had this discussion with Hayes a while ago that you see how fast he did it this morning. Within minutes of they're having talks of sacking him, he was sacked. Why did they wait when Thomas Tuchel?
I think he was already sacked. I think Fabrizio just didn't have the proper information. I think he was just sacked. They had the meeting. He was sacked.
But
because immediately
do you see how fast it was done? Do you see how fast it was done that? And you're telling me they couldn't have done it when they were talking to other managers 6 months ago, or when we lost the Spurs 4 weeks ago, or when we lost Liverpool weeks before that as well.
I'm going to be honest here. I honestly think Tuchel refused.
Nah, he didn't.
Nathan,
I genuinely think Tuchel refused the United job, and that's why we did not go for him.
I think Nathan's mic is muffled there. Nathan, are you outside or something? Your mic is a lot muffled.
Sorry. I think Tuchel refused the United job. That's why we never went for him.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know how we. Do you know what? He probably didn't want to deal.
I will bring up one point though. We have went from one unproven manager to potentially about to appoint another unproven manager.
Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, he's unproven. He's won 2 Portuguese titles. Man's 39 years of age. Will he be able for the English media and the amount of criticizing he's going to get off him?
What proven managers come to United at this moment of time, though?
To be honest, all right, if you actually go and look who is actually free and available at the moment, there's actually some decent managers there.
There is.
McAllister.
The problem is the only problem is they've seen what's happened at this club. They've seen.
Yeah, but Lawrence, at this moment in time, beggars can't be choosers. They need a job. There's Max Allegri, Eden Terzic, brought Borussia Dortmund to a Champions League final, and
I get that, but I get that. But do you know what it is? Do you know what I think? What people need to accept. You know what people need to accept. I think what United fans need to accept. No matter how many high class managers are there, I don't think any of them are willing to, break their back trying to come into that club.
But some of them look better because they're at lower clubs. Like the man for Dortmund, he did a fantastic job. He got into the Champions League final, and then a couple months later sacked because he couldn't perform because he had a Champions League hangover.
But no, he wasn't sacked. He actually left after the Champions League. He wasn't sacked. He left even before the transfer window opened. I think the Champions League final ended, and 2 days later he left.
But then your only issue with that is he did it. If you look at that, if you look at it last year, that team, they did shit in the league, and like they got to a Champions. Let's just say they got to a Champions League final. They didn't win one. They got to one. You don't remember second place, but they did so poor in the league, which is exactly what United did, except United won an FA Cup final. So it's like you're bringing in someone that does. What was I going to say? It's a weird one. It's a weird one because you're not going to bring in anyone.
No, and like the worst thing is now he has to wait until at least January. But even at that, I don't even think the club has money. So he's gonna have to wait till next summer to even make signings of his own. Because I don't think the club are gonna have money come January.
You'd
Like
be surprised.
the cost cutting thing that's going around, like, and then the fact of asking Man City could two of your players go and they're playing for the Ballon d'Or because
Yeah,
they want
I'm
to save
sorry, boys.
money.
I thought that was shocking.
20, like it
I
costs us,
thought that
that's costing us
I
20, it's
thought
going to
that
cost
was
us 27 million. If we have to pay 15 or 17 million to Ten Hag to pay off his contract, and then it's going to cost us a 10 million release clause to get Amarim.
mm.
So that's more money spent that we actually don't even have.
It's just to me, it's just so like, why do we wait? If we could have had it done and dusted, a new manager and all before, why do we wait so long to do it? But it was a delaying the
I think
inevitables, really.
I think Ineos actually did want to have a strong connection with Ten Hag, so I think they did want to give him the chance. But one win in 11 games, you just can't give a chance to that.
Yeah, that's your other argument to it there, I suppose. But I think it should have been done sooner. I think, but it was like you knew everyone it was going to happen. We just didn't know when. I was not
Oh yeah,
shocked that he was
it
gone.
should have happened the time they were in talks with all the other managers after the FA Cup final. That's when it should have happened. You shouldn't have been giving the man an extra year in his contract. You would have only had to pay him off more when you were inevitably going to be sacking.
Yeah, there's a lot of things though outside the football. Like people are going, like yesterday is not the reason he got sacked. I think we have to make that very fair. People need to
Oh no, it
realize
is.
he didn't get sacked over
That,
yesterday.
no,
Like
that is the nail. That is the final nail in the coffin.
it was, but like they didn't look at just that. Because to be fair, he can't go out and score the goals. Do you know what I mean? I mean the amount of
No,
chances we missed.
hold on there now here with this fella, right? Right, I've had this argument with so many Manchester United fans saying he can't go out and score the goals, but yet he spent 120 million on the players who were made to score the goals, and they wouldn't score in a whorehouse with a fistful of 50s.
A perfect example. Dallo missed a sitter. He was Jose Mourinho signing.
I'm not on about that. I'm on about the strikers that he signed to score goals. He
Who
signed two of
Zerski?
them.
I will say that
Certainly
Zerski has
Ronaldo,
been fucking like
120 million. 120 million he spent on two strikers. None of them can even know where the fucking net is.
yeah. I don't
And
know.
like the problem then I had with other United fans is, oh, but that's Van Nistelrooy's job. Van Nistelrooy brought in the attacking coach.
He
And
wasn't. He was an
hold on, no,
assistant manager.
but it doesn't matter. Even if you brought in the attacking coach, it's not up to fucking Van Nistelrooy to teach a striker who plays in the Premier League for Manchester United how to put the ball in the net. It's just naturally come to him.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems in that team, in that club. As it is,
I
no matter who
I
comes in.
I'll be dead honest. I'll be dead honest, man. You see, just sacking with Ten Hag, yeah, it was inevitable, but you could see game by game that the players didn't want to play for him anymore. You could see that, and you know the problem is, this is just going to be another situation with Ruben Amorim. It's player power, man, and I don't know why people aren't saying it.
But
I don't actually think so. I'd hope
It's
not. I'd hope
it's
you're right.
player power.
but
It's player power.
I don't
I don't
necessarily
think it's
think
going to
it's
make
that.
any difference. I think it's player power, man. It
I
is.
think I think
Ten
the
Hag, don't
problem
get me
with
wrong.
Ten Hag.
Don't get me wrong. Ten Hag wasn't the best of coaches, but my God, some of the egos in that fucking team is
Yeah,
fucking
but
crazy.
if you look at some of
But
the stuff he did,
hold on a second. You're on about player power, okay? But everyone has to realize that when Ten Hag came into this club, he's after getting rid of 21 players out of the club and spent 700 million. So
he also came in with a very big ego as
it's
well.
not
With
going to be player power if the players that are on the pitch are the players that he signs. So I don't
and
really know what the debate is here on player power because they're not anyone else's players. They're his players. Onana, his player. Delict, his player. Martinez, his player. Maxraoui, his player. Ugarte, his player. Ericsson, his player. Anthony, his player. Hoyland, Xerxes, they're all Ten Hag's players, so you can't really say anything about player power.
I'm talking about it. I'm talking about two individuals, man. I'm talking about two.
But hold on a second. Like everyone just does that. You can't just constantly pick on Rashford. You can't just constantly pick on Rashford and Bruno. Don't get me wrong, they're absolutely fucking shit. But you can't
Okay,
just constantly pick on them because they're not the only players that are playing on that pitch.
I
90% of our playing at the
I
moment is
agree.
players.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But let's be realistic. Yeah, let's be realistic. That's like, see, like, be honest with yourself. If Ruben Admiral comes in, do you reckon he could do bits with that squad, or do you think there's still
No.
players that need to go?
I
Be
think
honest. Be honest. Be honest. Do you
There's
think he
going to
can
be a
do this
honeymoon
with that
phase.
squad, or do you think there's players that need to go?
there's player needs to go. I think as a tactical setup, the Ten Hag hadn't a fucking clue. If you look at some of the stuff we were doing, I mean, I know last season he had injuries, which is still not an excuse. But like he brought in, as Nathan said, he brought in some players that have had right stinkers. He won't. I don't get this because he signed maybe 5 players from his old Ajax team. He won't play the way he did with that Ajax squad that got to the semi final of the Champions League. He's very, he's very much like when all the shit was put against him. You're not doing this. You're not doing it. He goes, but I won 2 trophies. So there's more of a thing of I think people are going, oh, he's arrogant. I think Ten Hag was genuinely deluded about how good he actually was,
Yeah,
and it's what
100%.
let him down in the end. Because if you look, the players aren't performing, but if you look at the tactical setup, he's the only man I've ever seen. Luke Shaw, Malacia were out injured, and he goes, "Yeah, Luke Shaw will be back fit for January." Got rid of Serge Reguilon, got rid of my man Fernandez from the academy to left back, only for Luke Shaw to get injured 2 weeks later again, and then didn't buy another left back in the summer because he said, "Yeah, Malacia and Luke Shaw are going to come back," and Shaw's still out. There's no sign of Malacia, so there's other little things
Apparently,
like that.
Shaw is injured for another 5 to 6 weeks.
That's what I mean. There's stuff like that. He's a manager. He should have seen, like, when he sees that. When you think of Luke Shaw's a poor man's Reece James, where they're both as badly injured as each other. Like, Luke Shaw has been a bit more, like, he's been a bit better at staying on the pitch, but when he's out, like, he's out. He said fit for England. He wouldn't say fit for us. The back in the
Yeah,
last season, he should have went, okay, I need to bring in a lone left back, or I need to bring in someone,
yeah.
because you're playing fucking Johnny Evans, who has been really well. But you can't play, like, you can't play without a natural left back if you want to play the way Ten Hag wants to play. You know, it's stuff like that he never copped, and it really bugged me. Sorry, no.
Lads, I'll have to jump back in about half an hour. Sorry.
No hassle.
No, I hear it. I hear it. I hear it.
Yeah, they're just little small things, you know, from little, you know, like
Lads,
if you look,
sorry, Scott, I just want to make it out to lads. If you're trying to join the stream in the link, will you please put your proper name on your on the banner? I will not allow you to join with nicknames just for the podcast. If you're trying to join in, put your proper name. I'm not gonna put you in the podcast if there's no proper name or there's nothing in the banner. That's yeah. If someone keeps trying to join, there's no name on his name, and he's just trying to say join, join, join. So unless you change that, you can't come into the stream. But anyways, the floor is yours, Scott.
but yeah, I just think if you look at other managers, you look at what they do, top managers, because at the end of the day, no matter how shit United are, we're still meant to be a top team. You have the decision makings of like I can't remember what game I was watching, but we were 1-0 up, and he tried to defend for like 60 minutes and then ended up losing the game, which he has done a couple times. Porto game there in the Europa League is another great example where we drew 2-2 3-3 it was,
Mm,
but we scored two. We went 2-1 up or something like that, 2-0 up, and then we shit the bed. So there's things like there's no defensive stability in the team because he can't pick out the midfielder he needs because he brought in Casemiro, had a great first year, has shot the bed the last 2 years. There's Ugarte, while it's still out for debate whether he's good or not, he's shown good signs of getting into a tackle, but like he can't do anything else. He can't. It looks like he can't move. So
yeah,
it's very scary. And then the thoughts are like, you know, if you look at your Arsenals, your Cities, your Liverpools, like
yeah,
they not only have, even if they don't have great squad depth, like if you look at Liverpool when they're playing Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones, in my opinion, doesn't get into many other teams in the Prem. But like when he comes on for Liverpool in that system, once they all have a set system and have a set role, they play well.
yeah,
And that's what doesn't happen at Man United.
yeah. No, 100%, 100%,
So
100%.
I don't know where it goes from here. Van
I just
Nistelrooy,
think
go on.
yeah, I just think, like for me, Whitman United, bro. I think with United, they just need to accept that they're not this huge giant football club. Yes, they will always have international pull, but yeah, you can't. They're not the big club they used to be.
No,
Um,
they're nowhere near. Not
they're,
with everything
they're
that's gone on.
they're nowhere near it. But the one thing I wanted to say, I don't know if you know Tom Garrett
Yeah, I
from
do.
from the
Backside.
pitch side,
Pitch.
yeah, but I got a few clips from him today after turn off my cam because I'm actually using my phone for something else. But I got a couple of tweets there, and he was saying that Thomas Frank, Southgate, Potter, Howe, this is United level. The sooner they realize this, the better. I don't want to hear top class managers linked. They're mid table quality at the moment.
Yeah, he's not wrong in a sense, but I
Uh,
think the big issue is like it's not only okay. You don't need a top flight manager, but what top class manager? Like Nathan said, Max Allegri. Max Allegri hasn't been a great manager in I don't know how long. Zidane's never coming out of retirement. People are saying There's a reason Xavi said, "Yeah, I'm leaving Barcelona." Went back because he's like, "I'm going to save this club," and then they sacked him anyway at the end
yeah,
because he's not good. There's no actual good managers. You
yeah.
can't get someone ready and prep to come and take United because there's so much to do.
Uh,
Amirian is a decent enough from what I know,
uh,
and I don't know a lot like, but he should be doing well. He should do well. It's what we kind of need is a step back to be a bit realistic.
yeah. No, I hear that. I hear that.
So I don't know, and I know Nate was getting a bit feisty about some of the stuff, but I think it's good for it's good to see the passion, but we also as United fans have to go, okay, well, look at the last what 12 years,
Yeah.
12. You look, I mean, since Ferguson, the only half decent manager. Well,
Uh
no,
huh.
you'd have Ollie and Jose. Jose was successful, but Ollie had really good football.
Yes.
You've nothing else other than that. You have a smattering of shit decisions between Ineos and the Glazers.
Hmm.
Um, and it never really seemed like we ever built on any bit of success we ever had, and it just looks like we're going 5 steps back after going 3 steps forward.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
it's going to be a struggle. I don't think Van Nistelrooy is going to be the man at all.
Mm,
I don't think he's going to be that great.
mm,
He'll have his bounce hopefully against Chelsea.
mm.
Hopefully he's still there against Chelsea and whoever we're playing Wednesday again.
Yeah,
But I just don't know.
I hear. Well, like, what were your takes on the West Ham game?
Well, I think the West Ham game is a scapegoat reason for why they sacked him because they needed to get rid of him. And while he wasn't losing, there was bits and pieces where he thought, okay, like not just the West Ham game, but the games before. While he wasn't really winning or losing, you're going, okay, they're half decent. I think the
Uh,
scapegoat at that game. I also think it shows the lack of finishing. I think Rashford had a little purple patch there for 2 games and has gone to shit again. Zerkski the last I don't know how long since the Fulham game. I think I've seen him on the pitch every time, and it's like we're playing with 10 men because he just doesn't
mm,
add anything to the game. He he drops in to play the ball, but like he he doesn't do that. He can't do that well. He doesn't even get stuck in. He doesn't make runs in behind. When
mm.
he's going down, it's like Bruno runs past him, and Bruno's going to be the 9, and then he's being the 10. But then he can't do what a 10 does because he's just weird. I don't know.
Well, like with Xerxes now, like he's like every time people slate him, he's come away with a game with something. Whether it's a goal and assist, he's come away with something. So is it
But
just maybe he fans just have no patience, or
well, I
because
think
every
when you
time
look at
we've talked about him, every time
yeah,
you've talked about him, he's gone on to do something in the next game.
well, 'cause the way I see it is he's 1 goal and 1 assist, 1 goal or 2 assists. Sorry,
Yeah.
um, he's come on in games where he's not looked at all like a player. He came. Fulham game is probably his best game in United shirt, and he wasn't even that good, and he only played 20 minutes. The problem is,
Yeah.
I actually think there was a lot of expectation on Zurski to be okay. He's not going to score, but he's going to get the ball and ping it out right, left, right, center. He's going to pass the ball. He's going to be that cog, and he's not. And yes,
Yes.
he's still young and he's still very raw. But the issue is, how can he be the backup to Rasmus Hoyland if he doesn't score either? Because the two of them don't score, and we've seen it with Rasmus Hoyland last year, where he gets one goal, he'll get a couple, but if he doesn't get a goal, he's fucked. Like, so it's a strange one.
No, I get that. I get that.
Um,
I get that.
I'm hoping if my man comes in, Amirian, he learns how to play him, because Zurski is one of them weird players where like he's like three different positions instead of he can play three different positions. But if you put him into like if you put him in as a striker, he won't be able to play striker. But if you have him as a floater around the pitch, it's the only way you'll get the best out of him.
No, 100%.
But it's fucking weird. Like that West Ham game. I mean, he's not nearly as fault as like if you look at the first half, there was 8 or 9 chances.
Yes.
Didn't score. Dalot missed the biggest miss I've ever seen in my life. It's fucking insane. Like, it's insane. So
no, it is. It's just that with me with United, bro. Like for me, like Diego Dallo. I want to start with Diego Dallo because I was hearing some brazy shouts last season. I have always found this guy. I just think he's an all right back. He's an average right back. I'm sorry now. United fans complain about Wan-Bissaka not being able to put a ball in the back of the net. I'm sorry. I think Wan-Bissaka would have finished that.
I watched Wan-Bissaka yesterday, and he played like this shit of he can't get forward is a bit of a myth. He wasn't great, but I watched him.
I watched that match as well. He wasn't bombing forward, but he progressed the ball.
He was really good. I watched him at one point, and he made up like 15 yards, and in one sprint, he made 15, 20 yards.
And to be honest, like, why is it such a big thing that your right back has to be able to attack?
Do you know what
like,
it is?
The only right back we really talk about attacking, you're looking at Jeremy Frimpong, Hakimi, and Trent. Hakimi and Frimpong, all they have is for them is fucking rapid. That's all they're good at. Fucking being rapid down the wings. Trent, he's just a joke of a passer. So, like, if you're looking at Dalot, I'm like, what Dalot can't, he's not the fastest, and he's not a joke of a passer. So what's this myth that your right back needs to be attacking?
Pep Guardiola is why.
Even our right back, Ben White, he's not fast. He's not like I wouldn't say he's fast. He's fast, all right, but he's not rapid fast like Jeremy Frimpong or Hakimi. He's not of a joke of a passer, like, but he keeps it ticking.
I don't know, because I see the pass he gave for the goal the other night. Like, Ben White has it in his locker as well.
He has it in his locker, but he can't. I was just about to get to that. That pass was ridiculous, but it's not something he can do like
all the time. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't be like, yeah, I can do this whenever I want to. No, it was a one-time thing. He loved it. It was a good ball. Great goal by Saka. But it's not something I would expect him to do on a week-in, week-out basis, because I know he does not have that in his locker. But for some reason, there was just some myth for fans to be like, oh, and I think it's just Wan-Bissaka had like a one bad game, and United fans were like, oh, well, like, Wan-Bissaka should have fucking attacking. So, like, and Diego Dallo came in. And fair enough, he had a good couple of games. And then United fans are like, oh, just like, Wan-Bissaka should never play again, man. Like, Diego Dallo is class. I'm like, man, Dallo was just an average right back, man. I swear to God, man, because he was 3/4 up the pitch when you were attacking. You're like, oh, yeah, Dallo's world class. I'm sorry, no.
I think he's a lot better than what he's given credit for, but something this year, because I thought it was okay, he's been put out into the left, and maybe he's not comfortable. The tackles aren't as strong because it's his less dominant foot, but like, I'm watching a few games at right back, and I'm going, oh, it's like, I don't know. I understand he's probably, I know it's just huh?
Yeah, he's been average. I don't know what the hype ever was. I don't know what the hype around him is.
I think he's going to be a very solid Premier League right back, but I
Yeah.
don't think you'll get a lot more. But like then again, there isn't a massive pool of right backs that you're going like. That's why people say, "Oh, this one." Anytime there's a good fullback, like you're going to say they're world class because there isn't a lot of good fullbacks around
Mm, mm,
that can do both. I mean, like you have your Trents, you have your like Ben White is. I like Ben White. I've always liked Ben White. You have your Fringpongs, you have your Dumfries for Inter Milan and stuff. There isn't a lot like there's probably maybe six or seven I can name at the top of my
yeah.
head, and the rest aren't great.
Mm, no, I
You
get
know,
that.
so it's gonna be weird. And then you have the likes of like if you look at our own fullbacks, our left and right back, Mazraoui and Dallo for this season. So Mazraoui is okay. He's not spectacular. He's
I
been really
think he's been
solid.
your best signing, Scott. I won't lie. I think he's been your best signing.
But so he's been good for the price we got him at. It's really solid signing. The issue is he
Uh,
gets like he's been solid at times. Yeah, he gets fucking ran through. So he gets ren pass so many times. So you can't
mm.
really win as a fullback because you are going to get ren pass. But like
You
even
are.
against
Every
Barnsley,
fullback is going to get burnt. Look what happened to
to
Robertson.
Rob
Like
Robertson,
Robertson just
yeah,
on
that
his
was
arse and
filthy.
that got sent
That
home. I know every
that.
fullback. Brent has gotten the worst of it. Every fullback, even Kyle Walker, we praise that being the fastest fullback in the world. He's got spun a couple of times. It happens. Every fullback. If you think you can be a fullback and you're not getting spun at least 5 times in your career, yeah, you have another thing coming. If
I
you
just think
go on.
there's too many times where it's been now. And it's not just him; it's Dallo too. And Mazraoui has made up like he does get back and tackle. But if you remember last year, when Masako would get rem pass, he'd get back and tackle, and it's oh well, if he has to slide, he's in trouble already. So it's
But
very
we've
much like
always said,
contradictory.
here's a brazy statement. I think 1-on-1 down the wing. I don't think there's no other man on a fullback position you want than Wan-Bissaka.
He's the best defensive fullback in
Winger.
the world.
Like at that time, when United were in the Champions League, like this man locked up Neymar, done. And Neymar was a player full of books of tricks. Neymar at that time in that PSG team was ridiculous. And I was looking at that. I was looking when he had to go to was it PSG and fucking win the return leg. I was looking at the games like, man, that's like the only matchup I wanted to see was Neymar versus Wan-Bissaka. Because I was
Yeah,
like, that's going to be a real test for Wan-Bissaka. And boy, he did well. He did well. And and like even Zaha, like when you played Crystal Palace that season,
I know
I remember
the
one
scoop
time
tackle.
that scoop tackle was ridiculous. Zaha was even saying it's like, oh, I was throwing goal, and I look behind me, it's fucking Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and he knew he was going to do the scoop tackle. I just think you need to have a balance. Your fullbacks cannot be all attacking. This isn't fucking AFC 24 where you have custom tactics. Like you have to have a balanced structure in the team. And with United, you have a fullback crisis.
I think
Luke Shaw,
this
his contract should be terminated. His contract should be fucking terminated,
he'll,
man.
he'll be out the
He's
door.
fucking useless. He's
Like
fucking useless, man. Fucking useless.
oh, actually, speaking
He's
on Ten Hag and Man United, Ronaldo came out with this a while ago. At Man
yeah.
United, Tottenham, I felt provoked by Eric Ten Hag. Not allowed for me, a coach, to put me in 3 minutes in a game. Sorry, I'm not that kind of player.
To be honest, I kind of agree with him. You fucked up. You knew you fucked up, and then you decided to bring on a player who knew that could have made a difference from you from minute one of that game, and you decided not to bring him on when you had 3 minutes left of normal time.
But
When
this
you were
what
what?
this what I'm saying about his delusion. Like people go on about, oh, when he first did it, right? I was never happy he got rid of
Yeah.
Ronaldo, that he got rid of De Gea the way he
Yeah.
did. But
Mm.
everyone's going, oh, that's it now. Pair of balls on him. He's doing this. He might be arrogant, but he's the right kind of arrogant 'cause he doesn't need these superstars. He's
Mm.
just fucking delusional. He doesn't know his
No, he's
level.
deluded. He's
He
fucking
didn't know his
stupid.
level.
Like,
He came
yeah.
from like again. I never understand how everyone accepted. He came from Ajax, where his biggest star at the time was probably Dusan Tadic or Hakim Ziyech. Could be wrong. Like, and then he came to United, where you had your Ronaldos. I think Pogba was just out the door. You have your
Yeah.
Brunos, your Rashfords at the time. I think. Um, it goes to show that. Okay, your in a way your player power thing is kind of right because in the end the players actually won. Even your Sancho's. Now this is going to change the whole Sancho situation.
Yeah, I've been saying this. I've been saying this. People were not listening to me. I told you, Ten Hag will get sacked before Jadon Sancho is on loan, so technically he's still tied to United. I know there's an obligation to buy whatever, but technically, Jadon Sancho is technically still a United player. And I was saying to the lads, like, lads, Ten Hag will get sacked before Jadon Sancho is sold. And look, here we are. I don't know if you've seen David De Gea's Twitter. Did you see David De Gea?
That was
Oh,
completely out of
lad.
context. That was completely out. No, that was for when it was announced that none of the Real Madrid lads were going to the Ballon d'Or when Vinny
Oh,
Junior
was
wasn't
it?
in. So
Apparently it's a Ten Hag thing, man.
I seen so when it came up right, it was
He had a
under a
bald
post
head
for me.
attached to the emoji. He had a bald head attached to the emoji, like.
Oh, I only seen the one where it was just a hand. He must
Oh
have
no, they
edited
had
it,
it.
but I just
Yeah.
what a guy, what a guy, David. Yeah, but he's fucking right too as well. Fucking right too. Fuck him. Like Ten Hag, I hate to be the kind of guy to be, oh, I want the manager sacked, but like you can't, you couldn't accept that kind of no team, even if you were like fucking Plymouth. Like
Yeah.
it came a point where it was a fucking bullshit. Do you know, it
Mm.
was becoming a point of you're getting like even the players he got rid of last year. He couldn't sell players and he could barely buy players,
Mm.
so it made no sense. Like
No, 100%. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Ten Hag. Ten Hag, Ten Hag, Ten Hag, Ten Heisenberg. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. And like, Sancho, now, to be honest, I'm happy for Sancho, but he's gotta prove himself now. He's
the
gotta
way
prove
I see it,
he's gotta prove himself
the
now.
way I see it is
Mm,
whoever comes in has to realize you have to still dissect some of the bad bits. Will Sancho still want to beat United when he comes back? He mightn't, but he has to figure it out.
no. Yeah.
Your big issue right
Mm,
now at the moment is getting that squad of players that you currently have playing. I mean,
mm,
like we're missing like again, we're not having that many injuries this year, thank God. Luke Shaw,
mm.
Malacia, and Anthony, who thank the Lord was sent off the pitch because I hate hating on my own players, but he's shit. I watch him like when he came on against Fenerbahce the other night, or not Fenerbahce, who was it? Not West Ham. It was
It
Fenerbahce,
was Fenerbahce.
and he
It
went.
was Fenerbahce, yeah.
Anthony deserved to come on the pitch because of how he does in training ahead of Amad Diallo.
Ripping it up with training.
But
Yeah,
but
man. I'm
I
sorry now. I'm sorry. If I'm a Diallo, I'm fucking to move on in the fucking summer. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that, man. I would,
yeah.
after that, after not playing for the match, I would just sat handing in a loan request. I would have been like, fuck that. I'm sorry now, Mazwari in the 10 because he's played there.
Don't
Someone actually pulled up the stats. Someone
don't even
actually pulled
yeah.
up the stats, and he's actually never played there before. He's
Like
played centre mid, CDM, played
this
everywhere
is what I
across the
said,
pitch.
man. Oh my
Bar-
god. I knew I had to bring something up. I knew I had to say something. What the fuck? What even do you know? Even if you really wanted, like I literally right, I have no managerial degree. I have nothing. If he really wanted to play that starting 11, okay, what he could have done is put Mazraoui left back, put Ericsson in the 10 where he has actually played at a Premier League level for years,
yeah,
and put
yeah.
Lisandro Martinez in the 6, and that way then you have that extra
That's
defensive
what I was gonna say.
stability, and you
That's
have a
what I was gonna
creative
say. Yeah.
player. But he put him in the fucking 10. A right back in the 10. And do you know what he did for the whole game? Fuck all.
Do
It
you know
was,
what though? Do you know what I respect? You know what I respect though that Bruno
yeah.
doesn't do? He kept it ticking. He kept it ticking. I won't lie. He's not spectacular, but he kept it moving, bro. He kept it moving. Like you can't fault him for that, man. You can't
But I
you
mean,
can't fault him for that.
I think the only thing is, like, it was against Fenerbahce, who, like, watching that Fenerbahce team, of Jose Mourinho teams in the past, that wasn't a great Fenerbahce
Bro.
side. Like, the tactics set up,
Mm,
Jose Mourinho didn't really set it up right to come out against us, especially when you see me, man,
mm,
like Mazraoui in the 10, which is an absolute fucking
uh.
crime. He should have been sacked on the spot for that in itself. You know,
Oh,
it's
100%.
he was in my opinion, he's lucky because against West Ham as well. I know we lost, but against a better team,
Mm.
we would have lost. We would have missed all them chances and probably got fucking hammered. Like even now, I'm reading sorry about Amaron. United have already been agreed
Mm.
upon. Only a few details remain. So the negotiations are underway, which is good.
Yeah, they spotted that very quickly. Yeah, apparently Ollie was supposed to come back to the club. There was huge rumors saying that Ollie was supposed to come back. Don't
uh,
know if you've seen that.
I did. So I did see it a few weeks ago, and he said I wouldn't say no, but I think that's just him trying to be like, yeah, if you need me, I'm here. I don't think they're ever going to take him as a serious candidate because they
Yeah.
learned the last time. The same thing with Rude. Like, if they
Uh,
wanted to, they could have kept Van Nistelrooy in the job for a couple of months, but they're already getting the shit done. Now,
yes. Yeah.
whether my
100%.
man's coming in by the end of the week or whether he's coming in at the end of the season, I don't know. It's looking like they're trying to get him in before next week at least.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do another interim and then boom,
Oh no.
which
No.
is
I
good.
don't even think, I don't even think he would be a good interim man. He'll just pick his favorites again and be like, "Fuck that man." But you know
I
what? Rude. He's a fucking criminal, man. He had a game plan since day one. He had a
say that
day.
again.
He had a Rude Van Nistelrooy. He's a fucking criminal, man. He had a fucking. He's a fucking criminal, man. He had a game plan since day one, man. He had a game plan since day one.
Yeah, it's. I think he knew, right? But like at the end of the day as well, can you imagine being the likes of Ruud van Nistelrooy and I can't remember the other fella that came in that were
Mm.
going. One fella was an actual manager of his own team, Go Ahead Eagles, and Ruud van Nistelrooy was getting the Burnley job, and he went, "Nah, we'll just come here and be second in command to Eric Ten Hag,"
Yeah,
and then
that's
ended up
crazy.
losing the job. Ruud van Nistelrooy is probably. It doesn't even look like he's going to get the game on Wednesday. It's how quick this
No,
deal is being done. So
that's crazy.
it's fucking mad, like.
That's crazy, bro. It's
It's a scary sight.
it's crazy. I won't lie, it's fucking crazy, man. But hey, ten Hag, bro, man. Like like seeing this news is crazy, man. As a neutral, like I woke up seeing this shit, man. Like,
Yeah, I
damn.
couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I seen it, and then to be sacked within 5 minutes. It's mad.
Well, I did
But
say winner stay. I did say winner
you say
stays on.
winner stays on, yeah. No, I will. I will say it probably could come. It couldn't have came at a better time because
Yeah.
they're playing a very informed Chelsea side. I can't remember who. I keep forgetting who we're playing. Who we're playing Wednesday.
What's gonna happen is I have the games here. I have the games for you, but you're gonna beat Chelsea now. That's the problem. Like Chelsea fans are like fucking shitting it because when they come to Old Trafford, they never get a result.
Yeah,
They never
but
get a
the issue
result out
is
of
a
it.
lot of the times they're fucking 0-0 or 1-0 draws as well. If you look, I could be wrong. They could be the ones at Stamford Bridge, but sometimes they're snooze fests.
Well, actually, here, let me pull up the stats here. We're head to head.
Like, yeah, Admiral has verbally agreed to become United manager.
Okay, so okay, yeah, you're not wrong. So you
Yeah,
had
so
4-3 at the Bridge. You beat them 2-1 at home. You beat them 4-1 at home. You drew at Stamford Bridge. You drew at Old Trafford. You drew again at Stamford Bridge. You drew again at Stamford Bridge. You drew at Old Trafford. You won away from Stamford Bridge. You beat them 4-0 at home. It's a lot of draws and wins. So out of what's this now? The last what 28 games?
it hasn't
Yeah,
been
and the
great,
last
like has it?
21 games.
Oh,
They've
sorry,
played nine.
Lawrence. Rodri has won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. All right.
Fucking. Fuck
Are you not happy with that?
off. No, fuck Man City first half. Second half, I really wanted Vinicius Junior to win it.
I don't like.
I just
I think you can make a case for either of them.
Oh
I do know
no! To
what
be
it
hundred
is.
percent honest, I'm just hate watching because it's Man City. Of course, it's a cunt
No,
deserves
no,
to win it.
hundred
He's
percent,
been
hundred
a
percent,
hundred. He's
hundred
been fucking world class for 3 years, 4 years now. He's been
Like
so
Rodri,
good.
man, I'm telling you, I think this is what I'm gonna say to you. I understand why people want Vinny to win it, but I'm saying this as people need to step back and see football isn't, yes, game goals and assists is what wins you games, but people need to understand there are players that don't do this, but they're influenced. Their team is so heavily influenced when they're
By
in the
these
team.
players, yeah. But do you know what's
Exactly.
mad to me? Do you know what's
Yeah.
completely insane to me? Now, I will
Yeah.
say, Fabrizio Romano this morning just ruined everything
Yeah,
because he
he did.
can't
He
keep
did.
a surprise.
He did.
But
Yeah.
only 3 days ago, it was nailed on. Vinicius
Yeah.
Junior, give it to Vinicius Junior. You know,
Yes.
everybody was saying Vinny, 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 and then this morning it was, yeah, they're not going. It's Rogers winning it, and I was like, whoa, like the turnaround in it, like it must, like I know. First off, I think it's a very bad look on a club like Real Madrid and the players to not go.
But
That's
you
just
know what?
fucking
Do you know
terrible.
what? Do you know what? After what they did when they found out he didn't want it, I'm happy he didn't win it. Not only do I think Rodri deserves this, after what they did when they found that Vinny wasn't doing it, fuck him. Right job for Real Madrid. Fucking think just because they're fucking have every superstar in the world that they're fucking entitled to fucking choose and go whether they go to them. No, it's bad sportsmanship. If Rodri knew he wasn't winning that, he would still attend the ceremony. You know,
Yeah,
Real Madrid.
hundred
And do
percent.
you know what? And do you know what? It's lack of sportsmanship. It really is. It really is. It's so loser mentality. I know they got
Yeah, it's
trashed
bad.
by Barcelona 4-0. I know they're going to be wounded, but come on, man. I know Vinny will be pissed. Of course, imagine finding out like 8 hours before the Ballon d'Or ceremony that you're not winning it, even though you were the clear favorite. I would be gutted, but come on, man, still show up,
I
man.
will say with the Ballon d'Or, I'm just looking at comments and everything, and I know like people are going to say whatever because he's a Man City player. I know that, right? The
Yeah,
Ballon d'Or has lost a lot of its credibility in the last couple of years
it
over
has.
certain like
It
like
it,
I
it, it
I
has.
like a few decisions I never agreed with Modric winning it in 2018. I'd have Van Dijk should have got
No,
it. I don't
no,
agree
yeah.
with two of Messi's Ballon d'Ors, and
Uh,
I just think the basis they go off like so like if you're looking like the one of the years Messi won it after 2018, he
mm.
didn't do much, and it was like, oh, his performances on the pitch was brilliant. But then Haaland, when Haaland did, he won everything, and the performances on the pitch, they were going. He didn't win enough team
I do
trophies.
agree. But that World Cup, you know what that
No, the
does, man.
World Cup was always going to get it for him, but
The,
it's
the,
like,
the war, you know what that does, and especially how long he's been chasing it. Like that was literally the final trophy for his complete career. After that, like I think he could have even said, "Don't ever include me in the top 50 for nominations. I've done it. I've won my World Cup, collected my last Ballon d'Or. I don't want to be nominated anymore." I think if he left it on that note, I don't think anyone could complain. I do agree that he shouldn't have maybe won another couple of few after that. But like lads, I had a ridiculous season, and I do believe he deserved it. But man, anyone who's watched Messi growing up, he suffered 2014 against Germany. Maragozzi broke his heart. 2018, France broke his heart, and then in 2020, what was it? 2023, he had to do it again. Like, sorry, 2022. Sorry, 2022, he had to do it again. Bro, it's a hard thing to come back from, man. It's a hard thing to come back from,
it
and a
is.
lot, and when he lost against Saudi, man, everyone was saying he can't do it. He's washed, old age. He just needs to let it go. And man, let's see. I will always say no hate to Ronaldo, but the difference between that Argentina team and that Portugal team is those Argentinian players will die for Messi. those
Yeah,
Portuguese players, those Portuguese players think they're on the same level as Ronaldo, which is absolutely bonkers. You know?
yeah. It's mad. I'm just sorry. I'm just looking at the rankings here, and I
Yeah.
called this a while ago. I said this a while ago. I knew Mbappe won't get into the top four. He's at number six.
He's six.
Six, Haaland in fifth. I can't see who's fourth, third, or second. I'm going to presume it's I presume it's Rodri, Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, and
Yeah,
probably
that's what I
I
was
I,
thinking too.
I can't think who'd be the fourth though. I'm surprised he's not higher, but yeah, I think we need to start fraud watching Kylian Mbappe here.
Do you know what? I watched that Ballon d'Or. I was sorry. not the Ballon d'Or. I watched that El Clasico, man.
Man,
Oh
eight
man,
offsides, eight
it
offsides,
was. Oh my god, 9 offsides.
nine offsides. That is absolutely insane. That is just I've never heard of that ever on a football pitch.
Yes. So yes, if the live rankings here, you had I'll actually do this in actually ascending order, just to give a bit of context. So in 15, you had Dani Almo from Barcelona. In 14th, you had Emilio Martinez. In 13th, you had actually this could be very wrong. This actually could be, I apologize. This is 50 minutes ago. Where did you say Erling Haaland finished? Erling Haaland?
Fifth.
Fifth. Okay, this could be horribly wrong. So this website has actually got the wrong listing. So yeah,
What?
I presume Jude came third. I presume Jude came third because it's saying third here for me.
I would presume he's third. Like it's the top
Yeah,
three was always going to be a mix up between him, Rodri, and Vinicius Junior.
yeah,
Um, it's just going to be like it's some of the stuff here, like some of the ranking. Now I will say some of the rankings, like Lautaro Martinez. If you look at some of this, like
yeah.
the goals, the trophies, everything he's done, could be maybe a bit
Mm.
higher than Mbappe. But if you look at some of the anything under the top 10 makes no sense. So like you have, I'll just get it here for now. Like Harry Kane
Oh
is
yeah,
10, which is probably you have it there.
yeah, yeah. I have it there. Yeah. So you had. So I would go from 29. I think. Yeah, I have the full list from 29. Oh, okay, okay, okay. There is some. The top four is interesting. So we'll start with 29. I think most people will know about this. So 29, you had Artem Dovik from Roma. 20,
Yeah.
28, you had Alejandro Grimaldo from Leverkusen. You had from 27, you had Vitinha from PSG. 26, you had Declan Rice from Arsenal. 25, you had yours and truly Cole Palmer for Chelsea.
Yeah,
24,
I
you
don't
had
agree with that.
yeah, I know. I feel like Cole Palmer and Saka should have been higher, but look, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna complain, to be honest. Uh 24 you had Rolls Royce Saliba from Arsenal. 23 you had Ruben Diaz from Man City. 22 you had Antonio Rudiger from Real Madrid. 21st you had Bukayo Starboy Saka from Arsenal. You on 20th you had Hakan Çalhanoğlu from Inter. In 19th you had Martin Odegaard from Arsenal. In 18th you had Emilio Martinez from Aston Villa. In 17th you had Federico Valverde from Real Madrid. I don't know how he's ended up here, but number 16 was Granit Xhaka from Bayern Leverkusen. I don't
He
know
had a
how he's
fucking
ended up
brilliant
16.
season, though.
Yeah, did he? Okay. I'm just
He did.
I
He's had
know
a decent season.
I know Leverkusen had a great season, but I'm kind of question how has Shaka done that well to be in 16th, you know? But
He's been very good for Leverkusen, but like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be a bit high considering, but
true. Going on from there, you 15th, you had Nico Williams from Athletic Bilbao. 14th, I'm presuming this is just particularly off the Europa League hat trick. Ademola Lookman from Atalanta. I don't know how he's 14th here. Dani Olmo, 13 from Barcelona. Florian Wirtz, number 12, Bayern Leverkusen. 11, Phil Foden. Yes and no, because they do take international performances into account. And Phil Foden internationally, like I feel like his Premier League performances outweighed his international, but we can't just sit
yeah,
here and forget that he ghosts for international tournaments. He was accommodated, he was given that number 10 so many times and did fucking nothing with it. Uh
yeah.
Number 10, Harry Kane for Bayern Munich. Number 9, Tony Cruz, Real Madrid. Number 8, Lamine Yamal from Barcelona. Number 7, Lautaro Martinez. Number 6, as you said, Scott, was Kylian Mbappe. Fifth was Erling Haaland. And okay, this is oh, this is where it gets interesting. Give me 2 seconds there. It's just updated here. I think there's more. It's yeah. Give me 2 seconds. So it's official. Rodri has won it, but the top four. The top four. Give me 2 seconds. The top four was entering the top four was Danny Carvajal.
That's who I couldn't think of.
Yeah, Danny Carvajal broke the top four. Jude Bellingham from Real Madrid finished in third. Vinicius Junior finished in second, and Rodri collected the Ballon d'Or.
It's
Do you know
see
what?
I
Do you
mean?
know
Right,
what?
out of the top 10, it's all over the place. But in the top 10, it's kind of makes sense.
You see,
Personally, don't
I
agree
feel
with
like
Tony Cruz.
you don't agree with Tony Cruz.
Yeah, I don't agree with it because to me, obviously they're just doing a nice thing because he retired last year. While he is Tony Cruz will be forever one of them midfielders. Like I mean, the ball stuck to his feet last year. No way
Uh,
he should be breaking into that top 10. I mean, he didn't even have to like he was very good for Real Madrid, but not top 10 where there's other players like Cole Palmer. I know it's his first breakout season, but it's fucking
I
mad.
don't think you can't put him in the top 10. I put him in the top 10 to 20, but not in the top 10.
No, I mean I put
You
him
need,
way
you,
higher up than 25th.
you need to understand everyone in that list in that top 10 had won a major trophy. You can't put Cole Palmer in the top 10.
Did they all? No, Harry Kane didn't win one.
Hurricane. Oh, sorry, my apologies. But like even then, like I retract that statement. But putting Cole Palmer in the top 10 for Ballon d'Or,
Maybe not
I
top 10, but he should at least
I
be in the
will put
top
like
15.
yes, 100%, 100%, 100%. You could. I just think I just don't think you could. I don't think you could just squeeze him into the top 10 for me. No, and I would say with the same thing with Bukayo Saka. I think Cole Palmer and Saka should have been within the top 15, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
It's just the problem is it's like if you look at the Ballon d'Or nowadays compared to even
Yes.
5 years ago, it's fucking washed, man. I mean,
Mm,
it shows you how good Ronaldo and Messi were at the time.
mm.
To like, if you
But
look at it,
do you
like
know what? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, man? I will say this, people. A lot of people are living off nostalgia. Don't get me wrong. Messi and Ronaldo were phenomenal, but people expect the world when we see good players. Like people expect them to Ronaldo and Messi numbers. Do people remember what Ronaldo and Messi were doing was not deemed physically normal for a football player? Like
it,
people
it is
expect
it, it is
it's
mad.
not.
Like
It is. It's not deemed physical. It's not deemed normal as a foot player. Ronaldo and Messi were ending up with 50 plus GA every season. Do you know how mad that is?
if
Do
you
you know
look
how mad that is?
like the first Rodri is the first player actively playing in the Premier League to win a Ballon d'Or since Cristiano Ronaldo in 2008. That's
That's
how
crazy.
many years is that?
That's crazy.
14 years.
Yeah.
That's 14 years. It goes like if he again, it's not a dip in quality. The game is obviously changed because Ronaldo and Messi did
Uh,
dominate the Ballon d'Or for years.
mm.
I think all around players, the quality has a small bit dropped and
It
there's not as much
has.
hype.
It has. It has. But we need to understand, along with the players that have dropped, the whole game that we've all grown to love, tactically has evolved. Tactics are a lot more stricter. Teams have a more direct system. It's not a case of there's no more. You have your hint of individual brilliance, but it's all tactics now.
I tell
That's
you
why
a
you need.
better one.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone mad. There were someone said, obviously I've seen it the last week of. It's the
Yeah.
first time in 15 years Ronaldo and Messi haven't been nominated for a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
But are people not upset that there's Neymar Jr. is not in the top 30 list at all as
You
well?
know what it is? I was having this conversation with my cousin right now. Do you know Vinny won that Ballon d'Or? You
Yeah,
know Vinny won that Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I'm gonna say that now. People can call me tap, but if you don't agree, you're a nostalgia merchant. Yeah, I will
yeah,
love Neymar. I will love Neymar all my life. But you see, Vinny won that Ballon d'Or. You see, Vinny won that Ballon
yeah.
d'Or. That's one step on Neymar's legacy. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah, Look, Neymar is 32. Please listen. Don't just
Yeah.
go, you're waffling. Please listen when I talk about this, yeah?
Okay.
Neymar is 32 years now playing Al Hilal. You can say injuries done him. I don't give a flying fuck. Neymar is 32, has probably still like 3 or 4 years left of his career, and he's playing the fucking Saudi League. When he left PSG, I think a Premier League club would have taken him. Barcelona were looking up the funds to line him back up, and yet he chose to go to Saudi. That everyone that's saying that, oh, it doesn't matter what Vinny does, he's never going to touch Neymar. Yes, aesthetically pleasing flair, he may never touch him. But in regards of who had the better career, Vinny will end up having a better career than Neymar solely because of the fact that Neymar chose the wrong decisions, made wrong decisions that impacted his career.
Neymar is
Neymar, I'll be honest. Like I said, I love Neymar. I have nothing against Neymar, but people need to understand he chose the easy way out. He was 30. He was 31. He was 30 when he was leaving PSG. He was 30. He was 30.
Yeah.
Lewandowski is 36 and he's ripping it up in La Liga. You can't tell me shit. You can't tell me shit. Lewandowski is 36 and scored a brace against Real Madrid in the El Clasico. And you're here, you have Neymar 32 out here in Saudi. Nah, man. And you know what? You can clip it whatever you want. Vinny Jr., if he won that Ballon d'Or, he has one step on Neymar's legacy. And people could say he was competing with Neymar and he was competing with Messi and Ronaldo. So was Luis Suarez. So was Virgil van Dijk. All these they were all competing for it. But the main difference is they all stayed at top clubs. They all I know Neymar had that back injury that kept him out for a year abyss, something like that. But when he came back, he could have went anywhere and he chose to go to Saudi. For me, that's not someone who's trying to win a Ballon d'Or. That's just someone said, "Look, I've played my football career. I've won trophies. I'm just gonna fuck off to Saudi." You said yourself the biggest goal was to win a Ballon d'Or, bro. You said it, not me.
He couldn't
But
do it.
Neymar
But
said his
then you
biggest
have
goal
to
was to
look.
win a Ballon d'Or.
You have to look when he
You're
was Neymar. What really annoys me about Neymar, because I always say this about him, he's the most under and overhyped player I've ever witnessed. Where he was so good, but never reached the level that was expected of him. He was one
bro.
of them players where, like, he was unlucky that Ronaldo and Messi were still winning Ballon d'Ors when he was coming to
He
his
was,
kind
but
of best years.
Scott, what people need to understand, if this man gave a fuck about his career, he could have still won a Ballon d'Or in today's day and age.
No,
He
no,
still could have.
but yeah. So that's what I was gonna
In this
say.
day
So
and age,
that year,
he would walk. There wouldn't even be competition for him. They wouldn't be competition for him if he
that
just
year,
stayed in Europe until they actually like Messi left completely out of Europe. Ronaldo was just followed him into Saudi. Like, man, like, oh. But go on, Scott. I'll
it,
let you talk.
it
I think people need to just get over the nostalgia. The reality of the fact,
Neymar, yeah.
yes, go
Neymar's a
on.
weird player. Neymar is the modern day Ronaldinho. He has everything but the attitude
Yeah.
to be a professional. Um, he's probably Brazil's. Personally, I think Pele's a fraud. I don't think Pele. I obviously never watched Pele, but like I don't want to hear shit about Pele because I think he's the biggest fraudulent player ever. But Neymar is probably Brazil's greatest ever player.
Hmm.
Um, will always be down like that. But he was also the prince that never became king because of his own attitude. He 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 had the chance in 2018 when Modric, in my opinion, in 2018 Van Dijk should have won that Ballon
Yeah,
d'Or. But
100%, 100%.
If Neymar put his mind to it and said, "Fuck it, Ronaldo and Messi aren't going to do it this year. I'm gonna." He should have put himself in the hat for 2018. He shouldn't have for 2019. There was years when Ronaldo and Messi didn't win it,
Yeah.
or even when Messi won it the last couple of times. He should
Hmm.
have done a lot better to not let that happen because
Exactly. We're both saying the same thing. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, I will love Neymar, but his mentality, attitude, and his decision making in his career is what let him down. That's what did not allow him to reach the heights. I have no doubt in his ability. No one can ever question Neymar's ability with a football. No one can never can. But people need to put the nostalgic bias aside and look at it from a logical perspective. It's there, plain and simple truth, guys. The guy was 30 leaving PSG. He had another good 5 years in him, and he chose to go to Saudi.
100%.
Just saying. That's him. That's on him. Don't try and come back on the no club could afford him. Barcelona were lining up the funds to take him back. They were ready to bring. There was this whole big homecoming to take him back. He didn't want to go. A Premier League club could have picked him up. He was going around for 50, 70 mil at the time. Lads, that's all I'm saying. That's like with Neymar, always have love for him. But the end day, if someone doesn't have the desire, the hunger to achieve their dreams, like there's nothing you can do. And his legacy, he's like, you see, people are talking about legacy. Vinny already has more UCLs than this man. Neymar only won 1 UCL. Vinny has 2. So that's one aspect here. I'm telling you, Neymar's legacy is not going to be around for a long Neymar's legacy is not going to be around for as long as much people think it's going to be. I tell you, Neymar is the type of player, as Scott said, it'll be what if you reach his full potential. He's going to turn into legacy, and by the time Vinny's done with his career, unless he has a devastating injury or he moves away from Real Madrid and flops, which probably won't happen because he's the main man at Madrid. Unless something drastic happens to Vinny, what's going to happen to Neymar, he's going to go to a legacy player into a what-if player. And you know what? I don't want to even jinx it, but that's the reality of it. You know, Neymar had the opportunity, as Scott said, there was numerous years if he just locked in and, you know, made himself a name for the Ballon d'Ors over the past few years. Hell, if he stayed in Europe, he probably could have won the Ballon d'Or this year. Because I'm telling you, no one in this current gen of new footballers could talk to Neymar right now. No one. He will win it by a sweep. If he won, I think generally, if he won the Champions League and even won the League Cup, it would have went to Neymar. 100%. 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
If he just won the Champions League and nothing else, he would have won the Ballon d'Or.
It's just it's just a letdown of different things like with Neymar. Because again, Neymar to me he's underappreciated because he was so good.
100%.
But then he's also massively overhyped because he never actually reached potentials. And as you said, people do tend to live off nostalgia, and people also tend to live off Neymar Jr. highlights, and then you're going, this fella's class. And he was good. He's not just a highlights player, but there's some people going off like, Neymar when he was 29 at PSG was getting kicked about, but it's a 3-minute compilation of him just getting kicked. So you're not going to show when he wasn't getting kicked about. You know, he got kicked out of the game.
He was good at PSG. He was good at time at PSG. What I think killed it for him was him deciding not to stay in Europe with Saudi at 30. That's what killed him.
But he didn't give a fuck at PSG either. I think what killed him altogether was going to PSG. I mean, what was the year? Was it 2021?
I was a firm believer of that. I think he should have stayed at Barca. I am a firm believer he should have stayed at Barca. He just wanted to get a Messi shadow. I get that, but you're your own player. Like for me, Neymar was his own player. I never thought of Neymar as Messi's bitch or something, or Suarez's bitch. I always saw Neymar as Neymar. And maybe he just thought, I want to be like Messi. I want to lead my own team. I want to have my own team and bring him Champions League. And to be honest, he did. He did try to bring a Champions League. He did try to bring the Champions League back to PSG, which has never been, done. I don't know. Have they won the Champions League? Has PSG won the Champions League? I don't know. Was he?
No, never.
No, never won. But so he was trying to do that impossible task, of bringing the Champions League back to PSG, and PSG spent money that summer. They were bringing everyone and everything. At some point, they had Messi, Ronaldo, they had Sergio Ramos in that team. And I don't know how they were collecting players like Infinity Stones, and how they did not win the Champions League was crazy. You see, Joyce is texting here. I don't like name. Joyce is saying Neymar unfortunately needed to leave, or else he's going to be under Messi's shadow. He's all correct. I don't necessarily think so because at the time, for anyone who remembers like this era where MS and the BBC, these guys will go band for band. And you know the man thing? Ask yourself, Choice. I don't think we ever said. I don't think this was ever a thing with Neymar, Messi, and Suarez. They were their own players collectively playing in one of the best clubs in the world, and they were scoring goals for fun.
But
They were scoring.
Neymar was still. I remember at that time, Neymar
Yeah,
was still under. Everyone was saying it. He has to leave, or Messi has to
yeah,
leave for
it
Neymar
was,
to
it
shine.
was, it was. But that's the media, and that's the problem with like players. Neymar was just deeping these comments way too much, man. If I'm him, I'm enjoying my football because let's
But
be
to be
real. If
honest,
you are
Neymar's a
seeing,
sausage of a fella as well. Do you know if like I wouldn't be friends with Neymar if I if I knew him. He's a spastic. Do you know what I see? Like I watched his documentary on Netflix a couple
yeah,
of I can't even last year or something,
yeah,
and
he's
like
documentary, yeah, he's own person documentary.
he's just like a sausage. I've never. He's so like. I get he's a millionaire. He can do what he wants, and
Yeah,
like I know in like Brazil, like a lot of Brazilians have this kind of like they don't really care attitude. They carefree life. They care more about living their life than doing their professions. But
mm.
like this man basically ruined transfers in football
Oh
by
yeah,
going to
100%.
PSG. He goes to PSG. And to be honest, the French league is not great. The French league is cat. So he does that. He goes there. I think he averages something like not even 15 games a season there.
Mm.
Pretty certain he was there for 4 years, and Pedri had more games played in one season than Neymar has for PSG in 4 years.
Yeah,
Like, how are you meant to be one of the better players in the world? Okay, you have the skills, you have the dribbling, you have the talent, but you don't have the mentality. And you're crying and whinging, oh, people are kicking me. And like, even the World Cup, was the 2018 World Cup, did he spend a total of like something like 27 minutes rolling around on the floor, like in every game? Like, all added up. So there's
mm,
so much, there's a massive attitude problem with Neymar. And it's what ultimately ended up with us saying, oh, what he could have been, not what he was.
mm.
So
No,
it's an interesting topic, and to see him not like, oh, sure, sorry now, look at this sausage, another one, Richarlison. All the Brazilians are crying over Vinicius Junior not winning.
let them try, man. Do you know
We get
what?
it,
Yeah, like
we get it.
this has probably been one of the. I would say this will probably be a topic for another day when I get the main panel back on because we're
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
talk stuff. But I think we can all agree this probably been the weakest like Ballon d'Or panel in a while. There's no clear cut winner. I think Rodri, man, if Bellingham didn't get that injury like that kept him out, he could have had a very strong case because he
He
was when
could have, yeah.
if he didn't get that injury, he could have, man, he was on fire. I think people forget as well. If Bellingham didn't get that injury when he was fucking scoring everything, he could have made a very solid case for himself. So like, I don't think there's a wrong winner here. I just think there's two types of people that watch football. There's people who only care about stats. If you're going for Vinny, you only care about stats. And as someone who's watched Vinny and Rodrigo, you can have both of them as your winners. But if you're putting the Ballon d'Or under the three criteria, whereas individual performances, trophies, and the last one's kind of stupid, fair play, Rodri ticks all those boxes. And people are trying to say, oh, well, Euros, he wasn't even their best player. You take Rodri. Rodri doesn't go to the Euros. They have no holding midfielder. Who's breaking
I
up the play?
actually, you just said a name there, and I just after
Yeah.
realizing Rodrigo, was he in the Ballon d'Or top 30?
Well, he was even no, he wasn't. He wasn't even the top
That
50. He was the top
ooh
30. Sorry.
ooh. I
Yeah.
think that see stuff like that because yes, right. I think Rodrigo for what he did last year should at least gotten like top
He's
30,
gonna
hundred
leave Real
percent.
Madrid. I'm telling you right now, he's leaving Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He will
Oh
leave.
man,
He
I
will
literally
leave. He will
everyone's
leave.
going on like this was the biggest robbery ever. It was between Vinicius Junior and Rodri. It was between one or the other. Like Leao was coming out, Tony Cruz, Many, Vinicius Junior brought out a statement saying like I'm going to give it 10 times more now. Like, just cut your losses and just focus on
There,
next
you see
year.
Real Madrid, man. See Real Madrid. I love it. Well, I was a diehard Barcelona fan. I can admire Real Madrid. I can admire them as a big club. But when they lose, they're the most sorest losers. If things don't go their way it's our and we're Vinicius. You see with Vinicius, yeah,
Yeah,
he's obviously been a victim of racial assault, and I get that. But come on, man, come on,
yeah,
you trying to boycott it, saying all this and all that, saying that, oh, how could you do this to me? It's like, come on, bro, you're not making anything better for yourself. Like, see with me with this, I've seen when he's got racially abused, and sometimes I feel like he instigates this. Like, just walk away. Like,
mm,
I'm watching this actually, and I don't get me wrong. I'm not in no way am I condoning racial abuse. I'm fully against it. But sometimes Vinny looks for too much of it. Vinny, you know what these people are like. They don't like you. Why would you stay in a place where you're prone to abuse? Why don't you just walk away, back to your half, keep it ticking? And with Real Madrid, it's a shame. It's a real shame because I think today the world opened their eyes and seen a huge disrespect to Rodri. Because if that was the other way, if Vinicius was collecting that Ballon d'Or, I'm almost sure Rodri would have came up and said, "Congratulations, mate, you deserve it." But no, because Vinny played for Real Madrid, and Real Madrid think they're the big elite of everything. It has to go their way. No, and you know what? Fair play to him. I'm even happy now when I read that because I was at work reading that when he said they were not flying over.
yeah,
I hope to God Roger wins it because I hear there's rumors that apparently he could win it even though he's not coming over.
yeah,
But I pray to God that Rodri wins it because if Rodri wins this, yeah, right job for you, Vinny. And I
yeah.
love Vinny. I love Vinny. I fucking love Vinny. But right job for him today. Right job.
100%,
Right job.
100%.
Right job. You can't be a prick and expect to win an award. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. But yeah, like back to the Neymar thing, man. Like, I don't like people like, there will be clips of me talking about this. I always say like to viewers, because you know how people react to things on social media. They don't take context, they don't read the description, they just be like, well, you're chatting rope. Like, take this in with context. In no way am I saying that I don't like Neymar. But like I said, if Vinny had won this Ballon d'Or, and I still think he has a lot of time, I think he's what? He's only 23 now? Vinny?
Yeah,
Yeah, 20, he's
2023.
plenty of time to win a Ballon d'Or. All I'm saying, lads, if Vinny even ends up with 5 UCLs, guys, you know, is crazy because like nostalgia, you can blind yourself with nostalgia, but when the facts is on the paper, when the facts are on the paper and the lights come down, you gotta hold your hands up, you gotta
Yeah,
hold your
no,
hands up.
100%.
You gotta hold your hands up, man, because like if Vinny goes there in his career, ends up with a Ballon d'Or, 4 Champions Leagues, like 6 league titles, 4 Copa del Rey's, and goes to another league and gets another Champions League and gets another.
Yeah,
He's easily decimated Neymar's career. And anyone, and don't know, I get it. Neymar will always have a lot of fanboys, but for anyone need to hold up for Neymar. Neymar isn't the only player we've all gassed and thought we would have reached their potential. There's so many other players, even in the Premier League alone, that we thought, that's a Ballon d'Or winner right there, and they never went on to, fulfill their potential. Neymar, yes, I know he got into the Ballon d'Or top 10 without playing in Europe. I get that. That's obviously a major feat, 100%. But as I said before, when Vinny's career is done, if we're all still alive, may God keep us all alive to if we get there to see the end of Vinny's career, he could easily have a better career. You could say Neymar had better skills. Skills don't win you games. Rainbow flicks, elasticos, sombrero flicks don't win you games. Yes, he
yeah,
can be as the most aesthetically pleasing player on the ball, but when it's all said and done, if Vinny has more trophies, you just gotta look at it and say, look, it was just unfortunate for Neymar.
he
He
just
just
not unfortunate because he was a twat. You put it down to brass tacks. He was just a twat. Like, like it's just stupid. Like he'd know, like, you talk about mentality. Like, you hear all the best players in the world that'll say you can have all the talent you want, you can have the most,
You
like, the
could,
best
you could,
skills,
you could, 100%.
but you need a brain. You need to have the mentality to work and work. And well, yeah, Neymar obviously had that for a while. There's somewhere along the line where it disconnected from him, and he thought, okay, like, because he was like, at one point, like, even in the French league, there's no one could lay a
Yes.
glove on him. So
Yeah, 100%. No, no, he was too good for that league. He was too good for that league. And but you know what? When it came to when the chips were down, especially in that mission to bring PSG to the Champions League, when it came down to that,
yeah,
name
and he couldn't do it.
I wouldn't say Neymar didn't show up, but when they relied for him, he always came up short. That's the problem.
He was never a clutch player.
He,
Never a clutch
he,
player.
he had brilliant, he had moments of magic, but unfortunately, when it came down to the latter stage, the games that they needed to win to make that Champions League trophy a reality, he didn't
Yeah.
show up. And I'm not saying just him. Mbappe didn't show up. Messi didn't show up. A lot of players in that superstar team didn't show up. But we're talking about Neymar. Neymar was a player in that team that did not show up. And that's just the reality of it. People, like, you just gotta face the facts. You just gotta face the facts. Because I'm telling you, man, like, I've even seen people celebrating that Vinny didn't win the Ballon d'Or just because Neymar's legacy is still intact. They know the fact that people are celebrating over that. They know
They know
what's
it's
gonna
close.
happen. They know it's gonna happen. They know Vinny will overtake Neymar. And they're like, oh my god, but like Neymar could do Rainbow Flight, he could take on 5 men and score. I'm like, bro, that's cool and that, but like, Neymar is 32, kicking a ball in Saudi. It's the money's gone to his head. Like the fame has gone to his head. And as you said, Scott, you can have all the talent, you can have everything in your locker. If your mentality isn't to go out there and win trophies and put your mind to things, forget about it. And that's not even a football. That applies to all aspects in life. Whatever career you're chasing, whatever anything you're doing in life, you could be the smartest person in the world. But if you don't have the mentality, the discipline to put things right for yourself, ain't gonna work out, bro. That hard work,
100%.
will always be talent, 100%. That's the rule in this life, man. And with Neymar, it's unfortunate, man, because like I'm and people were looking at me crazy when I was saying this. Like, you need to open your eyes and listen to what I'm saying, man. You need to open your eyes and listen to what I'm saying. And no, why am I saying Neymar is a bad player? But Neymar is 32 and playing in Saudi. Lewandowski's 36. Hell, Zlatan just retired last year, and he just turned 37. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, and Zlatan was playing the AC Milan, top 5 league, bro. Come on, man. Don't let's not do this. Let's not do this, man. Neymar is 32. Probably the last few that Ronaldo Messi generation that could potentially win a Ballon d'Or, but he's out there playing in Saudi.
And
No, I didn't mean if he spent a year in Saudi and then came back to Europe, fine. But he seems comfy
he's
over there.
retiring there. Yeah, he's going to retire there.
Exactly. He's just comfy there. And hey, for you guys that want to defend Neymar, that's on you. If I'm me, I'm texting Neymar every day to come back to Europe, man, because it's looking scary for you. It's looking scary for you, Neymar fans. I'm a Neymar fan myself, but I can admit when a player should have done more for their career and not just giving up their hopes and dreams. I know it's very hard to win a Ballon d'Or in that Messi Ronaldo era. Don't get me wrong, but this year could have been easily Neymar's year. Couple of years could have been easily Neymar's year. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I'm going to say. But enough with the Neymar talk. We're back for the main segment. So we've talked about Anarim. We've talked about Ten Hag. We've talked about the players. I suppose the only really question is now, like, what's next? What's next? Because Anarim is always going to come in. I think he will. I think he's going to be quicker than a lot of people expect. I think in this story we'll just probably get the one game. To be honest,
That this right, we get the Wednesday. Yeah.
the way United are fucking working, this new manager might be in before the Chelsea game. To be honest,
It probably will be. But this is the big like thing. This is like a big fuck you to the fans because the way I see it is, how is
so
it when you were trying to not in the sense to me it's like it shows a bit of incompetence. Sorry, more so than
yes,
whatever because it's going.
oh,
You were doing this last month. You're telling me you were going behind this man's back trying to get these people, and they all said no. But all of a sudden, in the middle of October, in the middle of a season, you can
mm,
just go, yeah, fuck you, I'm getting this fella. It makes no sense to me. So to me,
mm,
it's kind of like I think they didn't plan on sacking Ten Hag because they didn't want a Louis Van Gaal situation after the
oh,
FA Cup, and I think because we were all the fans were so joyous and happy, and yeah, we won the cup, they thought, oh, we paper over the cracks that are going on and just go off everyone's happiness and keep him.
mm, yeah,
Where they ultimately bottled it. They bottled it. I, I don't know what to think of the appointment because I don't know a lot about this guy. I know he's highly liked by teams. I know he turned down Liverpool before they got Arne Slot.
mm,
Um, so I think what's next is, to be honest, not never goes as smooth. Um, I think we're going to have another. The rest of the season is going to be hit or miss. Probably just write it off now. There's no point to getting excited for anything.
mm,
If we get to another final somehow, it'd be perfect. But we haven't won a European game in about 2 years. We haven't. I felt like we haven't won a Premier League game in five. I feel like I've aged 10 years watching Man United. So
mm,
it's I think now it's just United fans. We need to as upset and disappointed we'll be if because I don't think results are going to go our way. I think we need to get behind me man, get behind Van Nistelrooy
mm,
because he's not going to be there long. Then get behind the new manager and just see. He's coming in October, so he's basically a full season, if you want
yeah,
to call it that. He's missed maybe 6 weeks, but he has a full season, and then he'll go into next summer then with the transfers. The only thing that does kill him is he's
uh,
using he's using a team that he can't build, if that makes sense.
I get
So
that.
like he's not going to go up to January and make 6 signings because you don't do that unless you're Chelsea.
Mm,
He's not going to go and overhaul. I would like to see how the players react. I would like to see how the fans react to it. But I think for now, I think we have to just write off the season, to be honest,
yeah,
and
you think
just
yeah,
accept,
this season as a whole.
just write it off. Just not to expect anything. When I mean write it off, I just mean just the fans
Okay,
shouldn't be
okay, okay,
expecting.
okay. Yeah, I get that. I
Yeah,
get that. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
just
I get
shouldn't be expecting anything. What'll probably happen is you'll probably get a result now against Chelsea, and we'll
that. Mm.
probably usually with United is when shit
It's
like this
with a
happens.
new manager bounce. You go win 5 games in a row. You're like, fuck it, let's give him the job. He has the
But
players
but
playing again,
but even
and
at
then
that,
mm,
it's you and United are in bad form. Like we
mm,
got hammered by Liverpool. We haven't played City yet. We're going to get hammered by do you know whatever. I can't remember if we even played City, man. This season has just fucked me up. To be quite honest with you, um, the big teams we go out and get embarrassed by, we end up getting back. Like Man City last year embarrassed us, and then we beat them in the
mm,
FA Cup final. Do you
mm.
know? So you look at it that way. Like it's usually. So I'm hoping we get the one or two big results that we need, and then maybe build off it. But again, we shouldn't be expecting that. And I think right off the season, if anyone thinks, oh, he'll come in, we're getting top four, we're going to get FA Cup final, Carabao Cup final, people need to take their heads out of the gutter and to
Mm.
fucking wake up and smell the coffee because he'll come in, he'll do a decent job, and then he'll base him off next year.
So in the Prem so far, I'm actually looking back, man. This man, I don't know how he lasted. So in your opening game, Jesus fucking Christ, Jesus fucking
Yeah,
Christ.
I think we've
Uh,
won 2 games all year. 2 games.
uh, so 1-0 against Fulham. Then you lost 2-1 to Brighton. Then you lost 3-0 to Liverpool. Then you
Yeah,
beat Southampton 3-0. Then you
yeah,
beat Barnsley 7-0. Then
yeah,
you drew against Palace. Then you drew
yeah,
against FC20. Then you
yeah,
got beaten by Spurs. Then you drew
yeah.
against Porto. Then you drew against Villa. You beat Brentford. You drew against Fenerbahce. And you lost to West Ham. You are currently sitting in 14th, 7 points from the drop.
Yeah, 7 points from the drop. That means you're telling me, right? We're closer to Ipswich Town than we are to Man City. You have to look at that.
You're
Even if
you're
you
you're
look at some of the
you're
results,
closer. I don't know. Don't always say Man City. You're closer to Ipswich Town than you are to Nottingham Forest.
that's bad. I mean, come on, like
Forest is sitting seventh.
it's to me, it's just it doesn't make. And if you look at some of them draws, the Aston Villa draw, if we got that Aston Villa before that Champions League game against Bayern, they would have hammered us.
Yeah.
We won against Brentford barely. We drew against some of them teams barely. We got lucky against Porto. Like if you look at the number, do you know if you look even not even just statistics, if you look at the records that were shattered under Ten Hag, where the
Oh
first
my
time we
god.
lost
Yeah.
14 games in a season,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's fucking insane how low it's gone down to, and that is not just down to players not playing well. It's down to tactical and how you're setting up your team to play. I mean,
Mm,
at the start of the season, he was playing Bruno and Mason Mount up front.
yeah.
I mean, come on, sure you have two strikers. Surely
Mm,
one will press.
yeah.
So I don't know. Like as you said, you see that there. You named out all them results. I'm going to be honest with you. I've watched all them games. I
Yeah.
wish I could take it all back. It is so tiring to just be like, yeah, sitting here. The Spurs game, the Liverpool and Spurs game are probably harder because
Mm,
Liverpool are the biggest rivals. And Spurs, if you actually look at Spurs this year as well, they're probably as shit as us.
mm,
To be honest, like Postecoglou has kind of lost the plot there, but that's besides the point. We should never, ever, ever have had. I've never witnessed, even under Moyes, I've never witnessed United ever this bad. The last season and a half has been fucking treacherous.
mm,
Has been
mm,
so bad. Yeah, you got your little sprinkle of magic with the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. The first year with him was okay.
mm.
The second year, the second year, oh my god, it made me like, man, I don't know how I'm not in 5B. Like, this shit is insane. Like, you're watching them, like, you're getting all excited. The thought of watching your team on the weekend and then actually watching your team on the weekend is like fucking chalk and cheese. It's fucking mad. It's actually insane. Do you know? And it's the same stuff again. I said it against Fulham, and I written United off after the Fulham game, and it sounds really bad because I'm usually such a happy supporter for them. Against Fulham, I said this is the same shit now that we did last year. Nothing's going to change. Here
Mm,
we are. Then he's got sacked because he hasn't changed anything from last year.
mm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. I'm just going through the signings there. Just going through the signings there. Like you've bought in Mazwari,
Okay.
50 mil,
Decent. Decent. Yeah. Decent.
50 mil. Manu Lugarte, 50 mil.
Jordy's still out for him.
Uh, you've bought in Matthias Delict, 45 mil.
He's been okay. I think he was a
Now,
bit robbed
oh,
yesterday.
big. I was actually about to say big talking point. Opinions on the West Ham penalty. I
I
think he's very unlucky, but for an experienced defender, what he did there was stupid. If you're gonna come out like that, you have to win the ball. You either get the ball
personally,
or the ball. There's no
I
two ways.
don't I don't understand, right? I can
Mm,
get there was contact. What I don't get is as or but just before or as I can't obviously see, but in real time it looks like just before the contact is made, Danny
mm,
Ings handballs it.
okay.
So I don't like I know like and as well, VAR is for clear and obvious errors. I
Mm,
personally don't believe the ref made a clear and obvious error because it wasn't an error. It shouldn't have been given, but
mm,
nevertheless, we should have had 8 goals in the first half, so it doesn't make a
yeah,
difference.
yeah. To be honest,
We like
I think that was one of the matches where it doesn't matter if it was a penalty or not. Like as you said, it should have been like 8-0 the first half.
yeah, so they should have finished the chances and the penalty wouldn't have mattered.
Mm,
But again, that's what happens. That's what happens.
yeah, I hear it. I hear it. I hear it. Yeah, it's brazy, man. It's
Yeah.
brazy.
Half
It's
a billion
brazy.
spent. Half billion spent. Fuck all. Brought in Anthony, who had three good games in the United shirt, and then just decided, yeah, I'm going to become a full time like disabled person now and not learn how to play.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. It's just tiring.
Fuck's sake, man.
I know.
I was just texting Nathan there. I don't know. He said he's busy. He might come back. But to be honest, the segment is kind of nearly over, to be honest. The Ballon d'Ors happened. We've kind of talked about it. We probably will have another, I don't know what the story is. Well, actually, it's for a fucking week holiday, actually. So we should be able to get more content out. I will try and have, we're going to focus more on, um, we're going to focus more on the club channels for now because we haven't posted in 3 weeks. So Chelsea fans, United fans, Arsenal fans, just do keep an eye on the channel. We'll be back posting club content back this week, anyways. Unfortunately, the boys, for anyone who's looking for Joyce and Richie, I completely forgot to say my bad because you've been looking at me for the last hour and a half. I completely forgot to say that the boys couldn't make it because they're all doing graveyard shifts. So, so they couldn't make it for anyone who's wondering.
We don't need the Chelsea delusion anyway, so it's fine.
What I mean, man. These Chelsea fans. Hey, look, you're the one playing them next week, so I'm not going to say too much. I'm not gonna, but yeah, so we'll be posting club content back this week. I think there should be a foosball talk tomorrow. Now it could be late. It might not happen, but I'll be back posting Gunners Inside. I'm sure Joyce will have a massive episode on Trafford Talks about explaining how we used to pray for times like this. But Richie, also known as the delusional one in this podcast, we all know how he is. He also will have a chat about Chelsea. We'll also try and have another fan call in or another live stream. I don't know what the story with that is going to be. I have to talk with the boys. I do appreciate everyone who shared the stream out today. I wouldn't say got involved. We had a couple of people in here in the chat as well. And guys, I get it. Like, as Scott is here, he's been here a couple of times. I have a lot of people texting me saying they don't want to show your face. You don't have to show your face in the stream. I show my face because we have to, we have to get our faces in the camera. Yeah, exactly. To expand this. Like I'm in a snooty, like that's my Marvel snooty. I'm in a Marvel snooty. I'm just in a Marvel snooty and some shorts. I'm not dressing up because it's not about me, it's about Man United, and I'm a neutral. So I'm comfy and cozy live streaming. But like I said, you do not need to show your face on live stream. You can turn off your camera, have your mic on. If you're not speaking, mute your mic. We want to get as much of you involved. And like I have a lot of people texting me now saying, how often are these fan calling shows? They're very popular. A lot of people do ask me. Like today was a big one. Ten Hag getting sacked. A lot of United prayers were answered. They see I'm telling you, man. Scott and Nathan particularly, man. I was literally on my way to work.
Straight away.
Scott and Nathan literally simultaneously texted me, asked me a live stream today. I was like, look, let me try and sort something out. I was even clocking like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. We should do that. But like I said, so these callings kind of happen for big things. We talked a bit about the Ballon d'Or. We probably will have a proper Ballon d'Or segment between me, Rich, and Joyce. We have to figure that out. But other than that, all I can say is keep sharing, keep putting on your stories. The more exposure we have, the more things we're able to do in the future, not now, in the future. But I'm going to wrap it up for there. Scott, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for sticking around.
Nice one.
Nathan, shout out to you as well. Hey, shout out to you as well for joining the chat as well. But like I said, club content will be back this week. I will be dropping. I think I'm dropping Thursday night. Live stream or not, I don't know. I'll decide. I'll keep you updated. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for coming to the stream. We'll see you sometime this week. Scott, thank you for coming. It's been great having you. We'll see you this week, guys. Cheers.
Peace out.